Good afternoon, everyone, and a very hearty welcome, all of you, to Aurora online classes. Dear students, once again I am back and I will proceed with the same lesson. In my previous class, I taught you about the oppressive policy of apartheid. At the same time, I taught you about the untold sufferings, relentless fight, struggles and sacrifices of the black patriots of South Africa, headed by Nelson Mandela. I taught you that the blacks were deprived of equality, they were deprived of freedom, their socio-economic and political rights during the apartheid system or during the apartheid regime. Now, since under the leadership of Nelson Mandela, a new democratic republic was installed. It was it was established, and the new democratic non-racial government where there was no discrimination. I taught you that apartheid regime or apartheid system was based on torture, oppressions, oppress means exploitation, based on suffering, and the blacks were deprived of all their rights and freedom. They were not allowed to join any politics, they were not allowed to receive education in the white school, in the school, college and university run by the whites, means white people, Englishmen, and only the fundamental or the basic freedom or the fundamental rights were meant for the whites only. The blacks were deprived on all some other colored people. Colored people means those who were blacks and those who were having brown skin, like that. So they were deprived and there was no equality. So this is what we discussed. We also discussed that when Nelson Mandela was in prison, it was the grimmest time for him. It was the toughest time, severest time, harshest time for him. And actually, not only Nelson Mandela, all his comrades, when they were put behind the bars, actually they were tortured to the extreme, and it was really painful. Means they were not in a position to tolerate any pain anymore. So their pain was unbearable, torture was unbearable. And he cited the example that during his time in prison, during his stay in prison, during his confinement, one of the guards, actually all people are not same, and one of the security guards smiled at him, and Nelson Mandela found that there is a sense of humanity in the guard. So actually one of the guards, it means he wanted to quote that one of the guards, one of the security guards encouraged Nelson Mandela to keep on his struggle, to move on with his struggle, and it appeared that one day he would succeed. One day he would succeed in his venture, one day he would succeed in his mission. He quotes a very beautiful line, and that is, man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never be extinguished. Extinguished means blown out, in Hindi bujha dena. He is talking about man's goodness. Nelson Mandela talks about moral character of the people. He says that the moral character of the people, the moral character of a man is just like the glow of a sun. It's just like the ray of a sun, ray of the sun. So the moral character, I mean the goodness of man, man's goodness is just like the sun. And the sun ray cannot be, it can be hidden, but nobody can blow out sun rays. So goodness is like that. Man's goodness is just like a flame. It can be hidden for some time, as the sun can be hidden by the clouds, by the patches of clouds. But the patches of clouds, the mass of clouds have to be removed, have to disappear, just because of the brilliant sun rays, just because of the glare of the sun. They can't stay for long, they can't stay forever. So he says man's goodness is a flame. It is a flame, it is a blaze of fire. Blaze of fire is called flame, that can be hidden for some time, but it cannot be blown out, it cannot be extinguished. It resides in man's heart permanently, and whenever any opportunity is given, that goodness comes out. And when that goodness comes out, people around that particular man, people around him or her, get the benefits of man's goodness. Now, in life, every man has twin obligations. Let us read further. In life, and underline it. In life, every man has twin obligations. Obligations means duties. Obligations means responsibilities. What does he say? Duty, moral duty. Obligation means moral duty, responsibility. Now Nelson Mandela says that in life every man has twin obligations. Obligations to his family, to his parents, to his wife and children. And he has an obligation to his people, his community, his country. Underline it. It's a very beautiful line by Nelson Mandela. Man has to perform two types of duty. Man has a duty, has a moral duty, has a moral responsibility towards his family, towards his children, towards his wife. Means man has to perform family duty. Man has a duty towards his family. At the same time, man has also one more duty, one more obligation, and this duty is towards the society, towards the community, towards the nation, towards the country. So he says a man has to perform two types of obligations, two types of duties. A man has to discharge two types of responsibilities, one towards the family and the other towards the society, community and the nation. In a civil and a human society, each man is able to fulfill those obligations according to his own inclinations and abilities. Inclinations means natural tendencies of behavior, like likes, dislikes. So inclinations and abilities. Man performs his duty towards his family and nation according to his strength, according to his situation, according to his ability. But in a country like South Africa, apartheid was prevalent, he's talking about. In a country like South Africa, it was almost impossible for a man of my birth and color to fulfill both those obligations. He says that in a country like Africa, he is talking about the past of Africa. He is talking about the past society of Africa. He is talking about the past condition of Africa. He is talking about Africa when apartheid was prevalent, when apartheid was not abolished, when apartheid was in practice. He is talking about that was the toughest time for all of them, especially for the blacks, and the blacks were not allowed to fulfill their duty towards the family. They were not allowed to fulfill duty towards their country, towards their community, towards their nation. They were deprived of all the freedom. They were deprived of all sorts of freedom. They were deprived of all sorts of right in South Africa when there was apartheid regime in South Africa. He says that a man of color means black color, and blacks were tortured. They were hated by the whites, and they were treated very badly. The blacks were treated very badly by the whites. Only whites had the privilege, not the blacks. Blacks were underprivileged. In South Africa, a man of color who attempted to live as a human being was punished and isolated. Underline it. In South Africa, a man who tried to fulfill his duty to his people was inevitably ripped from his family. Ripped means separated. Ripped from his family and his home and was forced to live a life apart. A twilight existence of secrecy and rebellion. Rebellion means opposition or resistance. Vidroh. Rebellion in Hindi, it is vidroh. In English, it is uprising or opposition or resistance. So, I did not in the beginning choose to place my people above my family, but in attempting to serve my people, I found that I was prevented from fulfilling my obligations as a son, a brother, a father, and a husband. He is saying that in South Africa, the blacks were not allowed to fulfill their duties towards their family. They were not allowed to fulfill their or discharge their duty towards their community. And he wanted to do a lot for, Nelson Mandela wanted to do a lot for his family at first in the very beginning. But if anyone tried to do some duty or discharge some duty to fulfill the needs of the family and community, he was punished, he was separated from the society, he was put behind the bars, he was put in prison. This was the thing with the blacks. So they were not allowed to perform duty towards their family. And as a result, he is saying, at first he gave priority to his family. Nelson Mandela at first gave priority to his family above nation. And even though he was not allowed to perform his duty towards his family, he was forced to live a life of secrecy. He was forced to live a life of a rebel. He was declared a rebel. Rebel means one who is opposed to others, or one who is opposed to others, or one who paves the way of resistance, or one who creates resistance to others. One who protests is a rebellion. One who rebels, one who makes a revolt, one who wages a revolt is called a rebellion. One who creates an uprising, in Hindi vidroh karne wala, vidrohi. So he was declared a rebel, and he had to be underground sometimes. And many leaders like Nelson Mandela, either they were forced to remain underground, or when they were caught, they were directly put behind the bars, they were directly put in the prison. So this was the thing, this was the situation, this was the circumstance which compelled them to remain underground, and this way they were not able to fulfill their family duty. I was not born with a hunger to be free. I was born free in every way that I could know, free to run in the fields near my mother's hut, free to swim in the clear stream that ran through my village, free to roast mealies under the stars and ride the broad backs of snow-moving bulls. As long as I obeyed my father and abided by the customs of my tribe, I was not troubled by the laws of man or God. Now in this way, actually, what he is talking about, Nelson Mandela is talking about that he was not born with a hunger to be free. Very important line. Actually, everyone is born free. Everyone is born free. There is no restrictions on everyone. Restrictions are imposed on the people in the society. Nobody is a born hater, or nobody is born a slave. Every child is born free. So he says that I was not born with a hunger to be free. He was not born with a hunger to be free. Born free in every way that I could know, free to run in the fields. Now he is talking about the concept of freedom. And you see, his concept of freedom did not remain the same. His concept of freedom did not remain the same as he grew up. As Nelson Mandela grew up, the concept of freedom did not remain the same. Concept of personal freedom became broader. Actually, earlier when he was a boy in his boyhood, what happened? The concept of freedom was limited only to his family. And what was the concept of freedom when he was a boy? He was free to run. He was free to run in the fields. He was free to run. He was free to run in the fields. He was free to roast. He was free to roast maize corn. He was free to take a swim, or he was free to take a bath in the local stream or in the local river. There was no restrictions on his swimming. There was no restriction for him to ride on the bull. There was no restriction for him to to roast maize corn. No restriction was imposed. So this was the concept of freedom. This was the concept of his freedom in his boyhood. But the concept of freedom changed when he became a youth. The concept of freedom changed when he became a matured man. So what he is talking about? He is talking about that as long as he abided by the custom of his community, the tradition of his community, as long as he abided or followed the tradition and custom of his community of his tribe, means of his black community, there was no problem. As long as he abided by the tradition, there was no problem. As long as he obeyed his father, there was no problem. No trouble had come. It was only when I began to learn that my boyhood freedom was an illusion, when I discovered as a young man that my freedom had already been taken from me, that I began to hunger for it. At first, as a student, I wanted freedom only for myself. When he was a student, he wanted freedom for himself only. The transitory freedom of being able to stay out at night, underline it, read what I pleased, and go where I chose. Later, as a young man in Johannesburg in South Africa, I yearned, a strongly desire, I yearned for the basic and honorable freedoms of achieving my potential, of earning my keep. Earning my keep means to earn livelihood, of marrying and having a family, the freedom not to be obstructed in a lawful life. He is saying that when he was a student, the concept of freedom was different from what when he was a boy. Now, actually, what was his freedom when he was a student? What did he want what did he want in form of freedom? As a student, he wanted to stay outside. Staying outside was meant for freedom. Then, as a student, he wanted to stay out night. This was a freedom for him when he was a student. But he says that he wanted, what was the meaning of freedom when he was a student? Staying outside at night was the meaning of freedom for him. Then not only this, and to go anywhere he wanted to go. So go anywhere he wanted to go according to his wish. This was his freedom. He means when he was a student, he wanted to stay out at night. He wanted to read whatever he liked to read. He wanted to spend time with his friends. And apart from this, actually he is saying that he realized that boyhood freedom was an illusion. It was not a real freedom. And when he became a matured man, he realized that. And when he became a matured man, when he became a family man, when he got married, he wanted to earn his livelihood. And he wanted that nobody should stop him from earning his livelihood. Nobody should stop him from marrying a woman whom he wanted to marry. Nobody should stop him to live a decent life, to live a life of dignity. This was the meaning of freedom when he became a matured, when he became a youth. And then he talks about freedom in a very broader sense. He says that freedom is needed for everyone. Freedom is needed for everyone. It is the necessity for everyone. Nobody wants to be a slave, and nobody wants to live a life of slavery. Nobody wants to lead a life of slavery. It is quite natural for everyone to be free from all the restrictions of life. And you know that during the apartheid regime, during the apartheid system, during the white supremacy, all their freedoms were curtailed, all their freedoms were reduced, and they were deprived of their freedoms. So he realized that he had to fight. He had not to fight for himself, but he had to fight for the people. He had to fight for the people of his country. He had to fight for the community of his country, and he had to bring the glory back to the people of his own community. So here he is talking about sacrifice. So now the concept of freedom was changed when he became a matured man. But then I slowly saw that not only was I not free, but my brothers and sisters were not free. He realized that when he became matured, he realized that his brothers and sisters were not free. His brothers and sisters means the people of his community were not free. They were not free. Why? They were not free just because of the apartheid system, apartheid regime imposed by the whites. Saw that it was not just my freedom that was curtailed, but the freedom of everyone who looked like I did. That is when I joined the African National Congress, and that is when the hunger for my own freedom became the greater hunger for the freedom of my people. He realized that freedom is needed for everyone. And when he was a youth, he realized that his boyhood freedom was an illusion, and he had a strong desire. He had a strong desire to work for the people of his country, to work for the people of his community. He realized that it was his desire for the freedom of my people to live their lives with dignity and self-respect that animated my life. He got inspiration. And he decided that it was this desire for the freedom of my people. He was ready to work for the people. In the beginning we see that he was ready to do his duty towards his family. In the beginning he placed his family above the people of his community and above the people of his nation. But now as he grew up, he realized, as he became matured, he realized that the desire for the freedom of the people of his country. Now the concept of freedom was not limited to him only. Now his concept of freedom changed, and his concept of freedom became broader and broader and broader. And then he decided to work for the people of his country. He decided to work for the people of his community. And when he thought that freedom is needed for everyone, freedom is needed for each one of us, this gave him inspiration. This gave him a strength. When he realized the suffering of the people, when he realized the struggle of the people, when he realized the relentless fight of the people of his community, this realization gave him a strength. This realization gave him power. This realization encouraged him, motivated him, inspired him to live for the people of his community and to die for the people of his community, to live for the people of his nation and to die for the people of his nation. And this realization made him a stronger from within. This realization changed him, transformed him. Earlier, that transformed a frightened young man to a bold one, drove a law-abiding attorney here means advocate, lawyer, to become a criminal. He was a criminal. He was not a criminal. Nelson Mandela was not a criminal. He was against apartheid, and he was fighting against apartheid with the help of some other comrades. So the whites declared him a criminal. In the eyes of the white people, he was a criminal. He was not a criminal. So don't get confused here. So earlier he was a frightened man. He used to get scared of the whites. Now he had become a bold man. He had become brave, and he had become brave and bold. So what made him brave? What made him bold? The strong desire for the freedom of all people of his community gave him a strength, gave him power, motivated him, made him realize that he has to work for the people, he has to live for the people, and he has to die for the people. And then it turned a family loving husband into a man without a home, that forced a life loving man to live like a monk. Means this was the time when Nelson Mandela sacrificed everything. He was a family loving man, but they did not but the apartheid forced him, the whites forced him to sacrifice his life. So he sacrificed his life for he sacrificed his family, he sacrificed his own life, he sacrificed his own comforts, he sacrificed his own comforts, he sacrificed his own joys. And do you know why Nelson Mandela sacrificed his family? Why Nelson Mandela sacrificed his comforts? Why Nelson Mandela sacrificed his joy? Why Nelson Mandela sacrificed his happiness? He sacrificed everything, his family, his own brothers and sisters, his own friends, his everything he sacrificed everything. Do you know why? He sacrificed his comforts, he sacrificed his joy, he sacrificed his family, and he sacrificed everything for the sake of his nation, for the sake of the people of his community. Means for the black people, for the blacks, and not only for the blacks, but for the people of some other communities, for the colored skinned people, maybe of brown color, maybe of black color, except whites. So he sacrificed everything for the sake of his nation. He says, I am no more virtuous or self-sacrificing than the next man, but I found that I could not even enjoy the poor and limited freedoms I was allowed when I knew my people were not free. Freedom is indivisible. Underline it. The chains on any one of my people were the chains on all of them. Underline it. The chains on all of my people were the chains on me. He realized that this restriction is not imposed on him. He realized that all these restrictions are imposed not only on him, but all these restrictions are imposed on the people of his community, on the blacks. So when he realized that all these restrictions are imposed on them and they are living a life of slavery, not only Mandela was living the life of slavery, not only Mandela was living a life of slave, but all the blacks were living a life of slave. And when he realized that unless and until they are freed from the bondage, they are freed from the restrictions, they are freed from all kinds of brutality, they are freed from all kinds of chain, he is not free. And he realized that freedom is a must for one and all. Otherwise, the meaning of freedom will be baseless. There is no use of such freedom. Now the concept of freedom was not confined to him. He took freedom in a very broader perspective, in a very broader sense, in a very broad sense, in a very broad outlook, in a very broad perspective. He took the freedom and he said that this is not my freedom. Freedom of the people is my freedom. Restrictions on the people are the restrictions on me. If the people of my community are in chains, if they are slaves, I have no right to say that I am free. I am also a slave. So that is why he has started working for others. He says that freedom is indivisible. Nobody can divide it. Freedom for all. If slavery is for all, then freedom is for all. and we have to work together. We have to fight together to abolish this oppressive system, to put an end to this cruel system. We all are the victims of this apartheid. This is what he realized. I knew that the oppressor must be liberated. Liberated means freed. And who are the oppressor? Oppressor means one who oppresses. So the oppressor refers to the white people, and the oppressed refers to the blacks. So one who oppresses others is called an oppressor, and the whites are the oppressor here, and the oppressed, the blacks are the oppressed here. And he says, I knew that the oppressor must be liberated just as surely as the oppressed. A man who takes away another man's freedom is a prisoner of hatred. Underline it. He is locked behind the bars of prejudice and narrow-mindedness. I am not truly free if I am taking away someone else's freedom. Just as surely as I am not free when my freedom is taken from me, the oppressed and oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. Now let us see what he is saying. He says that both the oppressor, let us don't get confused and try to understand. The oppressor means one who oppresses others, one who exploits others. In Hindi जो दूसरों का शोषण करता है, जो दूसरों पर जुल्म ढाता है, जो दूसरों पर atrocities करता है, this is called oppressor. So who are the oppressor here? The oppressor, I mean the white people are the oppressor. And who are the oppressed? The oppressed are the black people. The blacks are the oppressed here. And he says that blacks people are the oppressed. They need a freedom. At the same time, the whites also need freedom, because the whites are the prisoner of. They are the prisoners of hatred. They are the prisoners of narrow-mindedness. Their heart is filled with prejudice. Their heart is filled with narrow-mindedness, and their heart is filled with hatred. And where there is hatred, there is enmity. So the white people, those who are the oppressors should be freed from the sense of hatredness. The oppressor means the white people should be freed from hatred. They should be freed from narrow-mindedness, conservative ideas, and they should be freed from jealousy. Then only and only there will be a bright society. There only and only there will be a civil society to live in. Otherwise, we are not free. I am not free when my people are slaves. I am not free when my people are in chains. So when I am free, I am restrictions on me. I am free when there is no restrictions on the people of my community. So in true sense, freedom is a must for everyone. This is what he realized, and this is what he wants to say to the people of his country. Dear students, this is the end of the lesson. I have tried my level best to explain to you, and I hope whatever I have taught today is clear to you. Dear students, try to understand it properly. If you have any query, feel free to ask me, because the days are passing by, and as it is said, it's a very popular saying that times once lost can never be regained. So we have to do everything very properly, and we have to do everything wisely. Though we all the teachers are trying our level best to make you feel comfortable, to provide you with the notes as we are doing, and we shall continue to do for your well-being, because your well-being is our prime concern. That's all for today. Be happy, stay blessed, keep learning, keep practicing, keep working from home. Thank you very much.